Imagine the stillness of a cold, moonlit night on the lake. The air is thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the faint rustling of the wind. Suddenly, the quiet is shattered by the desperate cries of a woman. Her voice trembles with a fear as she clutches her baby tightly to her chest, their innocent faces reflecting the terror in her eyes. She had come to the lake seeking solace, a moment of peace with her children. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, she felt an unsettling presence. The spirits of the lake had awakened, their restless souls seeking to claim the living. Shadows moved unnaturally across the water, and ghostly whispers filled the air, growing louder and more insistent with each passing moment. Her heart pounded in her chest as she realized the dangers surrounding her. She had to protect her babies from the malevolent forces closing in. With every step she took, the spirits grew bolder, their spectral forms emerging from the depths of the lake as if going into battle, eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. As she navigated the treacherous shores, the woman's resolve hardened. She would do whatever it took to save her children, even if it meant facing the horrors of the lake head on. The spirit's wails grew louder, echoes across the water, a chilling reminder of the perils she faced. She looked forward, the lake unnaturally violent. She stepped forward. Welcome to Scary Stories with Sai. Welcome back to Scary Stories with Sai, where we delve into the dark corners of history and uncover the haunted truths that linger in forgotten places. Today, we're going to be going back to a special place for me. We're going to be journeying to the arid deserts of Nevada, where a body of water holds secrets as deep as it is cold. Pyramid Lake, a seemingly tranquil oasis, is steeped in Native American history and haunted by legends and supernatural entities, strange disappearances, and eerie mysteries that have plagued it for centuries. Pyramid Lake, located in northwestern Nevada, is nestled in a high desert basin and surrounded by rugged mountains. Very large lake, covering an area of, give or take, 125,000 acres. It's one of the largest natural lakes in the state. Its name actually comes from the pyramid-shaped rock that is coming out of the water. It looks just like one of the ancient Egyptian pyramids. But before we delve into any of the eerie stories and unexplained phenomenons, it's crucial to understand the deep-rooted connections between Pyramid Lake and the Paiute tribe. The Paiute people have lived in the region for thousands of years, and to them, the lake is more than just a natural resource, it's sacred. They truly believe it is a sacred place filled with spiritual significance and ancient legends. One of the most significant of these legends is the story of the Stone Mother. According to Paiute mythology, or Paiute legends, the Stone Mother was a powerful spirit who wept tears that filled the basin, creating Pyramid Lake. The stone formations that give the lake its name are said to be her petrified form, forever mourning her lost children. The legend not only explains the creation of the lake, but also hints at the deep sorrow and mystical energies that are believed to permeate the area. The Paiute people have long held a belief that the lake is inhabited by spirits, both benevolent and malevolent. and that these spirits are responsible for many of the strange occurrences that have happened over the years. But as with any place of great spiritual significance, there are darker tales whispering warnings about the dangers lurking just beneath the surface of Pyramid Lake. One of the most chilling legends associated with Pyramid Lake is that of the water babies. According to Paiute legend, these creatures are the spirits of infants who were cast into the lakes by their parents during times of great famine. The parents during this time period were unable to provide for their newborns and had to make a heartbreaking decision to sacrifice them to the lake, believing it to be a merciful end and better for the tribe. But instead of resting peacefully, these children's spirits became twisted, turning into malevolent entities known as water babies. The water babies are said to haunt the lake, luring unsuspecting victims into the waters with sounds of crying or playful laughter. Those who follow the sounds find themselves pulled beneath the surface, never to be seen again. Over the years, numerous people have reported hearing these eerie cries at night, and many believe the water babies are responsible for a high number of drownings and disappearances at the lake. You know, people go investigate the area and try hoping to find the baby that's making all of the crying, trying to save it, trying to do the right thing, just to find out that that was exactly what they were hoping for. Now, fishermen have claimed to see small, childlike figures swimming just below the surface, only to vanish when approached. Others tell stories of feeling unseen hands grabbing at their legs while wading in the shallows, as if trying to pull them into the depths. These tales may sound like just mere folklore, but the frequency of unexplained drownings at Pyramid Lake has led many to wonder if there's more to these stories than just mere superstitions. Now, I've heard that in the area it's believed that if you're respectful of the area, you're going to be perfectly fine. The water babies don't bother you so long as you're sober, in the right state of mind, and willing to take care of things. But all of the legends kind of make it hard to believe. And now there's also... So in, of course, Nevada, this one being closer to Reno, on the other side of the state, there is Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, there's a lake called Lake Mead. In Lake Mead, they drained the lake not that long, or at least started draining the lake not that long ago, and started finding a bunch of bodies that were dropped off by the mafia or the mob in Las Vegas. Now, it doesn't look to be the same, but a lot of people wonder if the amount of disappearances and bodies that have popped up in the northern area of Pyramid Lake possibly have anything to do with the same kind of situation that was Lake Mead. But there's no way of proving it one way or the other at this current moment in time, at least. And as if water babies weren't enough to make you be cautious if you ever decide to visit Pyramid Lake, there's another creature said to inhabit the waters. A mermaid. But this isn't the kind of mermaid you'd find in the fairy tales. The mermaid of Pyramid Lake is a vengeful spirit, driven by anger and bitterness. According to legend, the mermaid was once a beautiful woman who fell in love with a member of the Paiute tribe. Their love, however, forbidden. And when the tribe discovered their relationship, the woman was cast out, left to die in the desert. In her grief and despair, she transformed into a mermaid, cursed to live forever in the cold, dark waters of Pyramid Lake. It's said that she now preys on anyone who dares venture too close to her domain, seeking to drag them down into her depths to join her in her watery grave. Some have claimed to see her swimming near the shore, her eyes filled with sorrow and rage, remembering the day she was cast away, while others say they have felt her presence while boating on the lake, an overwhelming sense of dread that compels them to turn back. Now, the mermaid's tale is an interesting one, because from a skeptical standpoint, mermaids aren't real. But the waters at Pyramid Lake have been knowingly very turbulent, and this caused a good explanation, or not caused, this was a good explanation as to why the waters were so turbulent. But the mermaid story is a tragic one, but it's also a cautionary tale. A reminder that the lake is not to be trifled with. Whether she's real or just a figment of imagination used to explain the overbearing force that is the lake, the fear she inspires is very much alive, and you can even hear about it through folklore in the area. But Pyramid Lake isn't just home to ghosts and vengeful spirits. It's also said to be the lair of the mysterious creature known as Tessie. If that name sounds familiar, it's because Tessie is often associated with Lake Tahoe, but there's a very close, obvious similarity. And yes, that was Tessie with a T, very similarly to the Nessie with an N from Loch Ness. Tessie's a little bit different, though. Tessie is described as a large serpent-like creature, similar to the infamous Loch Ness Monster. Sightings of Tessie have been reported for decades, with witnesses describing a creature with a long neck, a snake-like body, and fins. Some say they've seen her gliding through the water, while others claims to have just spotted her basking on the surface before disappearing into the depths. One has to wonder how many of these pictures are just similar situations of the log floating on the lake picture that we have of Loch Ness, but the idea of a prehistoric creature lurking beneath the surface of Pyramid Lake might sound far-fetched. But when you think about the lake's depth, more than 350 feet in some places, and its connection to ancient geographical formations, the possibility doesn't seem so impossible. Could Tessie be an ancient survivor? They do say that is what the Loch Ness Monster is a Paleosaurus. Very likely it could be the same thing. Could Tessie be a relic of time when Nevada was covered by a vast inland sea? Because at one point in time, Pyramid Lake was actually a much larger lake. Pyramid Lake was originally a part of the much larger Lake Loudon. And that's covered almost all of western Nevada and a lot of other areas. It ended up getting dried out in multiple spots, so we ended up getting several smaller lakes, much like there was a Lake Wendover that is mostly gone, and Pyramid Lake, which is now a part of that. Now, all legends aside, Pyramid Lake is in northern Nevada and a beautiful place to see. It is on reservation land, but if you do want to go up there, they do require permits to swim, fish, or boat, but it does not cost anything for day use permits. Those who do want to go camping or fishing, however, they kind of have a fee for that. But if you do want to go out there, it is a gorgeous place that is very well taken care of by the Paiute tribe. So they do have a lot of activities. You can go hiking, there's plenty of mountains, biking, bird watching, very good places for photographers. Also, if you like fishing, Pyramid Lake is the only place with the cutthroat trout that was a believed to be extinct fish. Thanks for joining me on this spine-chilling tale through history. Now keep your lights on. And remember, the scariest stories are often the ones that are true. Until next time, stay safe and stay scared.